We have told you about what we do and what the rules, regulations, etc. are in respect of management of the ocean resources, mineral resources of the deep seabed. And we also learned from you on what you're doing in your national areas. We were very much interested in what Petrobras is doing because we read so much about Petrobras and your recent finds of oil and gas offshore. And indeed, we learned a lot from this seminar in that sense. We also had a very wide agenda. We discussed the tribunal for the law of the sea. Then Mr. Tagore Albuquerque, Commander Albuquerque, introduced us to the work of the Continental Shelf Commission and some of the progress and tribulations that they have there in trying to deal with the continental shelf claims. But then we had outstanding scientists whom we had invited together with you to come to make presentations to you and to inform us about some of the research that they are undertaking. And we really appreciate their presence here. They've come from long distances, from Germany, from France, from Russia, from China, I think from Japan, some who have spent 5 days traveling and 5 days, and others who have come from other places, if I've missed any names. They all contributed to this discussion here with outstanding presentations on different aspects, and again, we learned a lot from them. As I said, the agenda was a very full one, but it was nevertheless lacking. There was something missing in the agenda. We did not have time to examine what minerals existed on the Copacabana beach. There may be something very important which we missed. So I hope when the next time you have a seminar, you'll include an item where we can have some practical experience of what minerals exist on the beach. On the other hand, we did experience some samba last night, and we're very grateful to the Deputy Secretary for taking some of us there. I hope that next time you can include Lambada as well as Bossa Nova, and we can find time to deal with that. But coming back to an interesting point which was raised here and on which others have spoken already, which is the issue of cooperation. In the area of deep seabed, it is a very expensive exercise to undertake scientific research, first of all. It is also very time consuming. It takes a number of years to observe, to analyze the samples, etc. And when you get to the point of thinking about exploring and exploiting resources, it is a very expensive process. So cooperation is absolutely necessary in all these fields. For scientists, without their work, we would not know much about the oceans. And without the exchange of information with each other and without having opportunity to exchange ideas with their colleagues, it will be, again, very time consuming, but perhaps less productive than it can be. And so it is very important that there is cooperation both at national level and international level. And I'm pleased to say that we find from the authorities side that whenever we convene meetings and workshops, the scientists are very willing to come to exchange views on particular issues of interest that we have on the agenda with their colleagues, other scientists, and benefit from each other. So in that sense, we not only derive a lot of information from them about what we are doing so that we have scientific basis on which we can, or background on the basis of which we propose rules, regulations, etc. for mining and activities in the seabed, but we also provide them as a catalyst an opportunity to meet and to exchange views. We also gather data and information, which then we collate and put them together in this way. This is available to everybody, both member states as well as other scientists as well. So scientists play a very important role. Cooperation is very important. And as you begin to think about cooperation in the South Atlantic, I think it's a very good idea. It's an excellent idea. That's a point at which you begin to really understand more about the resources and the potential they have, because you can exchange views. So the first step is to, as somebody has already said, to gather information, perhaps build a common database, make it accessible to both to all concerned, also to extend the research activities to across the Atlantic to Africa, for instance, if you are doing research in Brazilian waters or on this side. And that would be the first step, which should lead to identification of potential areas and what minerals you have which can benefit from development. So it's a good idea. It's a very useful idea. I'm sure the authority can play a catalytic role. Authority does not have capital. We're not the World Bank. But we do have the we can play a catalytic role and enhance the or at least provide the opportunity for cooperation that you are seeking. But much of it has to be done by yourselves. And as Mr. Ardenton said, we hear about cooperation, we don't get concrete programs. And concrete programs and implementation of those programs only come if there is political will to do that. And that is really one of the elements which is always missing, the political will. Because we talk about cooperation, I heard the other day as a colleague from Korea talk about cooperation in seabed mining, at least in the nodule area. Well, that can only happen if there is commitment and political will on the part of those who are potential collaborators and who can cooperate with each other. The Seabed Authority can provide them with a forum, with the opportunity. We are always ready to do that, but the countries concerned must have a political will to cooperate and come up with plans and programs. We can't impose cooperation on people. They have to sit together and work out something. So anyway, I'm sorry to take so much time because the others spoke for a very short time, so I thought I can borrow their time. And once again, let me thank you for convening this meeting. I especially want to thank Dr. Kaiser D'Souza and Mr. Ardenton. They were the point people from the authority side as well as from your side, and it is really they who worked hard to put together the program that you have. We also thank the Interministerial Committee in Brazil, especially Commander of the Navy, Admiral Julio Suarez de Moro Neto, who I believe was the coordinator of the Interministerial Commission here. So please, he's not here, but please thank him for, on our behalf, for the cooperation that we received. It has been a very successful meeting, and I think we all benefited from it. Thank you very much.
Bom, para encerrar, eu gostaria de concordar com o embaixador, porque na época da abertura dos continentes, talvez a praia de Copacabana tivesse no mar internacional. Então, é uma boa estudar a praia de Copacabana, deve ser uma. Mas eu gostaria aqui, para encerrar essa sessão, agradecer a presença de todos mais uma vez, em especial do embaixador Satyananda, do mestre Neil Alote, do senador Heráclito Forte, do general Ney Zanella, do comandante almirante Ney Zanella, do ministro da Marinha, e a todos os que pacientemente ficaram aqui esses 3 dias aqui para discutir esse assunto interessante e apaixonante que é os recursos minerais do mar. Então, gostaria de chamar aqui o Roberto Ventura, porque ele tem uma informação sobre o almoço e, após a sua fala, encerrar esse evento. Muito obrigado.